an ancient relic, shrouded in mystery. For centuries, it has baffled scientists, intrigued theologians, and ignited fierce debates. The Shroud of Turin. A simple piece of linen or the very fabric that once wrapped the body of Christ. What if I told you that this mysterious cloth holds secrets that no one can fully explain, defies the very limits of science, and challenges the very nature of faith? Today, we dive deep into the most compelling evidence that suggests the shroud is not just an ancient artifact, but perhaps the most significant relic in human history. Are you ready to uncover the truth? Stay with me as we unravel the 10 most powerful arguments for the shroud's authenticity, each more astonishing than the last. Now here we go. Our journey begins with the shroud's mysterious past. You see, while some claim it first appeared in the 14th century, the shroud's history may stretch back much further. Historical references, iconographic evidence, and the geographical tracing of its journey from Jerusalem to Constantinople weave a story that's hard to dismiss. Point number 1, historical consistency and provenance. Sure, skeptics argue that it's a medieval forgery that appeared too late to be authentic. But if that's true, why do we see its influence in art centuries before it was supposedly created? Could it be that the shroud was revered and hidden, known only to a select few? Number 2, pollen and botanical evidence. The second clue lies in the microscopic word pollen. Embedded in the shroud's fibers are traces of plants found only in the Middle East. Imagine, species unique to the Jerusalem area, preserved for centuries, pointing directly to the shroud's origins. Skeptics claim that this pollen could have been added during the shroud's travels, but the specific combination of these plants? It's like finding a fingerprint, unique and impossible to fake. Could this be the evidence that connects the shroud to the very land where Jesus walked? Number 3, image formation mechanism. Next, we explore the enigma of how the image was formed. The shroud's image is only a few microns deep, much too shallow for any known artistic method, with no pigments or dyes to explain it. And here's the kicker. This image contains 3D spatial information, something unheard of in medieval art. Now, skeptics suggest it might be a natural chemical reaction, but even after decades of research, no one has been able to replicate this effect. Could it be that the shroud's image was formed by something beyond our understanding? Perhaps even miraculous? Number 4, bloodstains and forensic evidence. Now, let's turn to the bloodstains. Real human blood. In fact, type AB blood, matching the wounds described in the crucifixion. These stains aren't just random, they show a forensic accuracy that aligns perfectly with the biblical account of Jesus' suffering. Skeptics argue a medieval forger could have used a real corpse, but how could they replicate the exact blood patterns, the clotting, and even the separation of serum? This kind of detail suggests an authenticity that defies simple explanations. Number 5, the carbon-14 dating controversy. Then there's the infamous carbon-14 dating from 1988, which seemed to deliver a devastating blow, dating the shroud to the medieval period. Case closed, right? Well, not so fast. New evidence shows that the samples tested were taken from a repaired section of the shroud, not the original cloth. Skeptics will still cling to this dating, but the mounting evidence of contamination and repair means the shroud could be much, much older, perhaps even from the very time of Christ. Number 6, Sudarium of Oviedo correlation. Here's where things get even more intriguing. This Sudarium of Oviedo is a cloth believed to have covered Jesus' face, has bloodstains that match those on the shroud, not just in blood type, but in pattern, as if they were from the same person. Skeptics suggest a deliberate attempt to forge connection, but with a documented history dating back to the 6th century, its authenticity strengthens the case for the shroud. Could these two relics together be the ultimate proof? Number 7, photographic negative discovery. In 1898, something extraordinary happened. When the shroud was photographed, the image revealed itself as a photographic negative. a concept unknown in medieval times. The details that emerged were nothing short of miraculous. Skeptics argue that it could be a clever artistic trick, but the level of detail, the realism, and the unknown nature of photography at the time make this explanation hard to swallow. Was this negative image a divine imprint, capturing the moment of resurrection? Number 8. Textile and weaving analysis. Let's look closer at the fabric itself. The shroud's herringbone weave is consistent with ancient Middle Eastern textiles, not medieval European ones. Its quality and seam patterns match those of ancient Jewish burial cloths. Skeptics might say this weave could have been replicated later, but the combination of ancient techniques and patterns tells us a very different story. A story that places the shroud firmly in the time and place of Jesus. Number 9. Anatomical and medical precision. Now, consider the anatomical and medical precision. The shroud displays wounds that match the crucifixion, scourging, puncture wounds, and a post-mortem spear wound. The body's position is exactly what you'd expect from someone who was crucified. Skeptics might argue that a knowledgeable forger could replicate this, but the level of precision and the lack of decomposition suggests otherwise. Could this be the genuine burial cloth of the crucified and risen Christ? And finally, number 10. Chemical and radiation analysis. The most mysterious aspect, chemical and radiation analysis. The shroud shows no evidence of paint or dye, yet the image is there, formed by a process we can't fully explain. Some researchers suggest it was created by a burst of radiation, an event that defies natural explanation. Skeptics propose natural reactions, but none have been able to replicate the shroud's image. Could this be evidence of a supernatural event? Perhaps the moment of resurrection itself? And so we are left with a question as ancient as the shroud itself. Is this just a relic, or is it a silent witness to the most pivotal moment in human history? As science advances, the mystery only deepens. The Shroud of Turin remains a puzzle that no one has fully solved yet. But the search for answers continues. Could the shroud be the key to understanding the divine? What new discoveries might lie just around the corner? Stay tuned, because this mystery is far from over. If you'd like a more in-depth video about the shroud and how it's more probable than not that it's authentic to the very moment Jesus rose from the dead, then please say so in the comments below. And don't forget to subscribe and join us as we explore more mysteries, unravel the unknown, and seek the truth in the most compelling stories of faith and history in our journey to solving God.